Hey friends, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. This is Gina, I am your host, and I'm excited to be here with you today to go over the lineup of Nuna strollers that are currently available. So why I've decided to do this video is because I frequently have customers that come into my store that want to know more just about Nuna in general, and they have a pretty good sense that they're probably into a Pippa car seat. So let's talk about all the different strollers that Nuna offers, because currently I carry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different strollers from Nuna. So it's easy to sort of get overwhelmed. So let's talk about them. We're going to go through them in terms of ascending order of price point, and then also we'll talk about the weights, and we'll show them folded and how car seats kind of work on them. So very exciting stuff. I'm going to start out with the littlest, smallest, lightest weight, most inexpensive. So this guy right here is the Nuna Trvl, the Travel. So this is a $450 Nuna stroller. It's pretty cool because it can fold up one-handed. It comes with its own travel bag. It has very little tires. They are sort of more of the EVA foam or like the plasticky style tire versus a rubber tire, which isn't the end of the world. But you do have a nice little recline on it that's probably appropriate. I think they say from 6 months plus. And then if you want, you can use your Nuna car seat directly into the Travel without the purchase of a separate adapter or changing anything on the stroller. So here I have the Nuna Pippa Air RX, and it just clicks in so easily. So we do love this guy. It is their least expensive option, coming in at $450. I will say they've just released a new, bigger, bolder version of this stroller. I have a whole video covering that. When you want to sit this stroller up, you're going to pull the backrest up toward the sky, and then there's a strap that you pull up at the same time. You have the magnetic on the seat, which is great. Front bumper bar is removable. And of course, your footrest is adjustable as well. So we can put this down for older kids. Okay, let's fold this one up and just get it out of the way, because I am selling way more of the Trvl LX from Nuna. So if you're like, whoa, that looks identical to what you were just holding, it's very, very similar. So the previous one with all the stuff on it, the Travel, the complete weight is probably around 14.6 pounds. This guy is bigger, heavier. It has a longer canopy, so we're gonna get more sun coverage. You also have a deeper recline. So the seat here can accommodate a newborn because the seat goes flat enough. So there's some confusion about that with customers too. If you have a seat that completely reclines, that's great, but you need the seat to be flat enough to accommodate a newborn if you want to lay a newborn directly into the stroller without using a car seat or a bassinet or a secondary thing. Here, at $550 and at 16 pounds, you're going to be able to lay a newborn baby directly into this stroller without the use of any other piece. Now, if you wanted to use the car seat with it, that is no problem. No additional pieces required. You would just buy a Pippa infant seat from Nuna, and that will click directly into the stroller. The other thing that I'm particularly fond of with this Trvl LX at $550, bigger canopy, deeper recline, but I like a stroller where you can sit the seat up hands-free, so you can just use your leg and it will have the seat sit more upright. So that is a very cool feature, more like the old school track reclines that we used to see 15, 20 years ago. Go ahead and one-handed fold. So that's awesome. Trvl LX is a one-handed fold. Travel is a one-handed fold. All of these products come in other colors. Not everything needs to be in black. That is my most popular color option for my customers, so that's generally why I put it out that way. Now this stroller that I'm pulling out right now, I'm actually going to back up now that I've got the other two folded, move some of these other dudes out of the way. This guy right here is the Tavo Next. This is a stroller that many stores that carry Nuna frequently gloss over or forget about, or don't talk to you about. That's shameful. This is an awesome stroller for the price. And I'm not talking about the regular Tavo at Dillard's. I am talking about the Tavo Next. So why I like Tavo Next is that it has a full 180-degree recline. So it reclines super deeply. You can put a newborn in here. You actually have a back liner that can remove, and then you have a mesh ventilation on the back of the seat. So with Trvl and Trvl LX, we do not have this level of feature set that you get on Tavo Next. Tavo Next also has a height adjustable handle. So you can shorten and lengthen it depending on the height of the person pushing the product. You also have, in my opinion, one of the best canopies in terms of coverage as well as ventilation. So you have incredible coverage. There's one ventilated window, two ventilated windows when you unzip the ventilation window panel at the back of the stroller. And then you can also take off that liner that we were talking about. So you can have tons of air flowing through here simultaneously. Another nice feature about this stroller is you can sit it up with your knee. The basket on this guy, just show, can be all one basket. There is a piece inside that opens up if you want it divided. There is a hidden pocket on the back. You have rubber tires on the back, more of the EVA foam plastic style on the front. So it's a good all-terrain. This guy also has serious suspension. So it kind of reminds me of like a Toyota Avalon, where it's way too nice for its price. This is $550. So if you want a very, very complete stroller from Nuna, you're getting a really good one here. The other part about this guy that's great is that you can use the Nuna infant seat directly in it without buying, any additional pieces. Just with the front bar, this car seat will lock right in. So with Trvl LX, cool features about those two, lightweight, little, they have a travel bag. When we move up to Tavo Next, we get a much better suspension, way more features, heavier stroller. Weight of this stroller is going to be around 26 pounds, but you do have some awesome laziness features where you're able to sit the seat up with your knee, and you're also able to close it and lock it single-handed. So now that stroller is folded up. And I'm going to put all these next to each other so we'll be able to see at the end how they all look folded. Now, moving up in price range, we get into what I would say is one of the best all-in-one strollers that's come along in years. So this is the Nuna Triv Next. Sorry, it's hard to keep all the names straight. So Triv Next is fabulous because Triv Next has 10-inch rear tires that are rubber. I think the front tires are 8 inches. They're also rubber. All of these strollers that I showed you, you have the option of being able to lock the front tires as well as have those front tires swivel. Really, some cool features about Triv Next are going to be, it has the lowest handle height of any stroller that I carry in terms of starting handle height. Meaning that if I am shorter or I want my hands low, this guy has a really nice option for maybe a shorter customer, but also can grow quite tall, which is very useful. There's places to stop along the way. Unlike all the other strollers that we were just looking at, Triv Next is going to pop us into the Nuna dimension of what is referred to as a modular stroller, meaning we remove the seat, we can flip the seat around to face mom and dad, so you can wave at your baby when you're walking. You still have recline, but this recline is not flat enough for a newborn. So whereas with Tavo Next and Trvl LX are suitable for a newborn because they recline deeply enough, Triv Next does not recline deeply enough for a newborn. The reason why is that Triv Next is going to be lighter weight. So if the stroller were to become unbalanced, it could theoretically tip over because it's so lightweight. So if you put the weight of the seat with all the stuff on it and the frame, your true weight of this product is roughly going to be about 20 pounds. So that to me is very lightweight for a stroller that you would be able to take into San Francisco, push up a hill, could still maybe go down to Half Moon Bay, lock the tires, walk along the beach boardwalk. You could really do a lot with the stroller all in one day and have it fit nicely into your trunk. Here's where modular strollers can sometimes be surprising for people. We're going to use a piece like this, which is called the Nuna ring adapter, which is included in the purchase price. And that is going to click directly onto the frame of the stroller. And then we're going to be able to put our Nuna infant seat onto this stroller frame. So there's a perception that when you do this, the basket of these strollers are larger. It's not necessarily that they're physically larger, but your accessibility point to get at your stuff in the basket is going to be better. That being said, modular strollers also have the benefit of when we remove the seat and are just folding the frame with the adapter on it, it's going to look much more like what we would call a snap and go. So this is Triv Next. This frame is incredibly lightweight. I don't know where you're dragging it. You're going up Everest? Where are you going? But it's nice that it does have the option for the shoulder strap. This stroller will fold with the seat on it as well. So I'm actually going to turn the seat backward to be parent facing to fold it, because it's unusual when a stroller can fold if it's modular with the seat facing you. Usually it has to be facing out to the world. So it's a nice feature that this one folds with the seat in either direction. And it folds really small, very slim. And again, we are going to put these all next to each other in a line, and I will zoom out so we can see everything at the end. Now, Triv Next is $700. So we have Trvl 450, Trvl LX 550, Tavo Next 550, Triv Next 700. Woo, moving up in price. Now, we're on to the Mixx Next. So this is a super popular stroller. I like it a great deal. Come on, why aren't you standing? Stand up. All right, my floor is uneven. Mixx Next is like an SUV. You have true rubber tires on the product on both the back of it and on the front of it. So there's no plastic tires here. Same with Triv Next. However, the size of the tire is a 12-inch rear tire. They are solid rubber. The same story with the basket here as with Tavo. It can be open, or there's a piece inside to have it divided. You have a really nice big sunshade. Triv Next, Tavo Next, and Mixx Next all have that removable liner on the inside of the stroller seat, so we can take this out and have mesh on the back for a hot day. The thing where this liner gets to be nicer than the other liners is that it is separatable, meaning we can separate the butt from the back. So if you have a kid eating like a drippy ice cream cone, they can drip onto the bottom part, and you could still have the backrest component of the liner off to have air flowing through for a hot day. So I love that. You also have ventilation on the hood, which is great. Again, I'd argue that your Tavo canopy, your Tavo Next canopy is still larger than this with more ventilation, and it's cheaper. But this is a modular stroller. So the seat removes and turns around and faces mom and dad. Why does that matter? Mixx Next has a lay flat recline, which means you can use this with a newborn without putting a car seat or a bassinet component directly onto it. So unlike Tavo Next, if we lay the seat back and put the baby in, the baby's looking out toward the world. Here, if we lay the seat down flat and want to use it with a newborn, we have them parent facing. So that's definitely exciting. Additionally, this stroller will fold with the seat facing mom and dad or facing out at the world. Facing any caregiver, I should say. As you can see here, this is going to be a two-handed fold. So Nuna claims Triv Next is a one-handed fold. I would argue it's a two-handed fold because you do have to shorten the handle in order to get it to stand when it folds. However, all right, we'll say it's one-handed. All the strollers we've looked at up until now, you could theoretically fold with one hand. This stroller, Mixx Next, which is bigger, heavier, Rubber tires, you're looking at an $800 price point. You're also looking at a weight of around 28 to 29 pounds, depending on whom you ask. But it's a two-handed fold, so that's the biggest functional difference. Now, all of these strollers fold exceptionally well. Yes, it's my job to make them look easy, but I would argue they're designed against brands that have existed longer. So those brands will have clumsier folds than Nuna. Nuna does, I think, the best job with a neat, clever fold to be able to put in and out of a vehicle trunk across their entire brand. So yeah, there's one or two from other brands that might like be good, but in general, folding style here is excellent. So I do love that. Now, biggest, heaviest Nuna is gonna be Demi Next, which is this guy here. What is different about Demi Next from all the other strollers is that it's more expensive. It's $950. This is going to be the heaviest stroller. This one clocks in at 32 pounds. This one is a single to a double, meaning when you buy it, it comes out of the box with all of the pieces that would enable you to use it for two children of two different ages simultaneously. So I have a whole video explaining how this works as a two-kid system. I would encourage you to look at it, because if I try to do it here, we'll be here forever. Your kids will be in college by then. But it can turn into a double. You have huge canopy, ventilation on the top. The canopy itself is the most attractive. It has quilting on the inside. Your liner on it's the nicest. It's not separatable, interestingly enough, but it is the thickest liner. You still have mesh on the back. And where you're gonna get a difference with this Nuna stroller versus all the other ones is this one is a tilt and space recline. So the whole seat tilts versus the individual components folding. You also have a built-in mosquito net on the canopy, which is great. It comes with a standing riding board for an older child. You can put a car seat on the top. You can put a car seat on the bottom. You can put the main seat on the bottom or on the top, so you have lots of choices. All these strollers hold 50-pound children. So they're all gonna hold kids all the way through till they're done strolling. But we've talked about the weights. Price point on this one is gonna be $950. So it is the most expensive, heaviest, they're most fancy. Additionally, all of these strollers have the magnetic buckle. So if you're doing like a discounted Nuna from certain department stores, a lot of those products don't have the features that we're talking about here. These are going to be available at Nuna specialty retailers. So if that's where you're thinking about shopping, I would encourage you to do that. Let's fold this one up, and then we're gonna set them all next to each other to show useful fold. I always find that with this one, I pull it to the tallest, scoot it down one level. I have my lock preset toward me. Yeah, I'm cheating. It's my channel, I'll cheat all day. I'm gonna engage the triggers, two-handed fold. And this guy stands while it's folded. So I am able to flatten it somewhat, but it's still gonna be a very large fold. I am going to put these next to each other in what I feel is sort of like largest to smallest. And keep in mind, these, I mean, that's like so ridiculous how skinny that one is. These are not in order of price, these are in order of size. Because the tan stroller that I'm showing, the Triv Next, is gonna be very, very small. I am gonna zoom out and see how functional that is for you folks. You can come over here and see. We might wanna angle this down ever so slightly so you guys can see there. Let's turn it. There we are. So we have Demi as the largest, then Mixx Next, then Tavo Next, then Triv Next in the tan, and then the two little black ones that are down on the end are Trvl and Trvl LX. So if you have questions or if you have comments about any of these strollers, please feel free to leave them below. If it makes sense for you to like and subscribe. I hope that you would do that. We would love to see you in more videos. If you have a friend or family member where it might make sense to share this video, coworker, sharing is caring. People like to learn. They can learn all kinds of new things. As I showed you on all of these, the modular strollers will come with the pieces to make the car seats work directly on them. So Mixx will, Demi Next will. They're all going to do that, even if I didn't show it. But the thing that's critical to take away is that if the seat doesn't come off the stroller, then you will just directly put the car seat right into the stroller itself with the seat reclined. So the modular strollers are Demi Next, Mixx Next, and Triv Next. The strollers that I would describe as more traditional travel systems are going to be Trvl LX, and Tavo Next. So hopefully that clears some things up, gives you some good place to start. Yeah. And I have videos about all of these separately and individually. So if you want to see those, please feel free to check them out. All right, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you in our next video.